closed yourself into a certain way of being and thinking when you exercise taking a vow. Just be mindful of that. The other part to this is always, always behold the divinity in yourself and in others. And when you say, I vow to be a good person, I vow to follow God in all things, you are saying that as a vow. You have taken it into the future, and you have made it also part of the present. In that instance, I say to you, you have not mortgaged your future. You have said, this is my future. And it is in the saying, this is my future. You have made a declaration. This is how I want to be in life. Some of you will have to chew on this one. I get that. I can see that in your faces. So chew away. It's not like we have to digest the whole pie today. All right, part 4, for those of you that are counting. This one is one you probably do know. Very well, actually. Ye have heard it said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, but I say unto you, resist not him that is evil, but whosoever smiteth thee on the right cheek, turn to him and the other cheek. And if any man would go to law with thee, take away thy coat and let him have thy cloak. Okay, this one, eye for an eye. Is that what we're really talking about? An eye for an eye? Oh my. That's the literal interpretation, and you will run across people who do believe in that. We, in our own way, sometimes also practice eye for eye. When we say, I'm going to get even. And we do it, oh, so nicely. I'm not going to forget that one. I'm going to get you one way or another. And we think that's not an eye for an eye. Of course it's an eye for an eye. It's that get even attitude. I'm going to get you. Or we walk around thinking the other guy's out to get us. How about that? That's a way of life that also is restricted. It says, I believe in that old moral code of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So watch how you practice in life, how you lead your life. Are you living by that old moral code when you use items and ideas like I'm going to get even? Or let me write that down. I'm going to come back to that one because I need to make sure I got that taken care of. When you do that from a negative heart, as I like to call it, you are living in that old moral code of an eye for an eye. And Jesus felt that it wasn't an eye for an eye, that we needed what he called uncommon sense. My mother's a great believer in the world has lost its common sense. It has no common sense. The world has lost its common sense. So the other day, because I had been reading Butterworth, I said to her, so Mom, how about we need some uncommon sense? And she thought about it for a minute, and she said, I think, by George, we do. That would be what the world might need right now. Some uncommon sense. Meaning, stop with the get even. Stop with this. Because when you get into an uneven, that's good, Sandy, an uneven place, you're into unforgiveness. Then it's very difficult to get out of the unforgiveness mode. So uncommon sense says to us, be free. Go to the side of your nature that is divine. That's where turn the other cheek comes from. Turn the other cheek doesn't mean that you have to grovel or you have to accept unacceptable behavior. It means in the face of what seems to be a negative, you turn the other cheek. You go to your divinity and you address the situation or the person from your divinity, not from your humanity. That is the essence of turning the other cheek. And when life is coming at you hard and real, turn the other cheek and look at that from your divinity. Look at what's on your plate. Look at life from a divine consciousness. That is your divinity. The second part of this is go the second mile. In the time of Jesus, one way of punishing people was to make them carry their burdens for a mile, all their household goods for a mile. And Jesus said, carry them past that first mile and carry them the second mile and do it with grace and with heart. Go the second mile. That's one one that we have all heard. It means give more. Continue to give more. Don't go that first mile and think it's all finished. All right, I did it. I went to work, where's my paycheck? Go to work, and this is one for all of us, with a smile on your face. And some of you are already saying, I can't, I won't. Okay, don't. You have a choice. And the law of non-resistance, this part of it says, go the second mile, and the rewards you will reap will be freedom, will be peace, and will be knowing that you, whether the other guy is or not, have gone that second mile. And then lastly, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. You see, this one is very important because it rests on the concept of love being an energy. An energy. See, right now a lot of us think love is an emotion and it begins and ends in us. It's like right here. Love is right here. No, love is an energy of God. And love is forever and endless. And it is this, using love to love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Why? Some say, because you deserve it. You deserve to keep yourself in the loving energy of God, even in the face of conflict. Because when you don't, when you say, I'm going to get even, one-upsmanship, get back at you, then what you've done is you've placed yourself in the deficit energy of no love. And you have done it using the other guy as an excuse. So be careful. When we say love your enemies, it's because you deserve it. You deserve to keep yourself in an energy field of God's love with you at all times. So this last part of of this particular law of non-resistance all comes down to this, in my view. When you exist in a state of love, or attempt to, or willing to, when you unload some poor behaviors because you want to live and be in a different way, you have said to yourself, I'm turning up the light. I know that I'm divine. I know that I have divinity within me. But this law of non-resistance gives me some very good tools to turn the light of God up in me. We talk about hiding our light under a bushel. I'm not so certain that a lot of us do that anymore. There are some people that do. But I am a little more certain, shall we say, convinced that some of us just don't turn the light up. We know the light is there on some level, but we don't work hard to turn it up. Turn up the light of the divine within you. And this particular law of non-resistance is a wonderful tool to help you do that. We're done. Thank you.